What is happening, party people? How are you all doing tonight? We got a fun show tonight. We got some stuff to talk about, but first and foremost, I wanted to talk about Omni. Real quick, I just want to talk about that for a quick second. Guys, go check out Omni. The link's on my page. The link's on my personal page. I'll grab the link and I'll share it into the show. JW is getting his leg amputated tomorrow. The campaign's coming to an end. He's $500 from goal. If you guys can help make this his dream a reality and give him something good to kind of negate what's going on right now, that would be super awesome. Like I said, he's like $500 from goal. So if you guys can help him out with that, I'd appreciate it. But without further ado, I'm going to bring out the main person we're going to talk about tonight with Jolzar Collectibles and Jolzar Entertainment with Power Toons.
Hey there.
What's going on, Jose?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, man. It's Sunday, so we're getting ready to start the work week. That's always a fun thing. It's like, man, what am I going to get into this week?
Yeah. For me, because I work in the weekend, so I literally just start. It's funny because my week technically wraps up, and then my weekend begins tomorrow because I don't work Monday through Friday. So yeah, I kind of just, other than packing packages up for the comic books and stuff like that, but I really don't consider that a work. Work when you do what you love.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Man, I have some days, let me tell you. The wintertime sucks for me because I deliver motor oil in a bulk truck. So, like, when you pull up at a stop that's 3 hours away, you're driving, you get that cold headwind. There's no heaters on the truck, on the tank. So you get there and it's like 1 gallon, 2 gallons. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be here forever. So I have a lot of time. So that's when I do all my graphics and fun stuff like that. What's good? So I just wanted to say hi to some people real quick. We got Mike and Trish in the audience. What's going on? We got Dell, and we got Patrick. What's going on?
Patrick, that's that's like my manager. He's a good friend of mine.
Got the manager watching, huh?
Like.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What inspired you to get into the comic book creating / selling? What was the major inspiration you had to get into comics?
Well, we'll go back to where it all started, I guess you could say. So we'll actually reverse before entertainment, before collectibles. Hey there. I started working with David Yost, which is the original Blue Ranger. I started helping him out at comic conventions back in, I would say like 2015 or 16, one of the two. I really have to really go back to check. It's one of those things. And when I was with him, just seeing the amount of people, in the comic, I already love comic books and all that stuff, superheroes, all the thing, everything you want to say. So just being with him, and just seeing how everything worked, and I would see store exclusives. I always wanted a store exclusive too, but I was just like, how is this going to happen?
Yeah.
And just being with him and seeing the amount of people just buying comic books, it just kind of motivated me to try something. So one day I bought a comic book and I actually raffled it out on Instagram. We'll say it that way. And I started raffling out comic books actually first. So I would buy like a Spawn, first appearance. And slowly I would just start getting, I guess you could say, selling out of the raffles. So I said, you know what, let me try something more different, I guess you could say legit. We could say something that would constantly be keeping me busy instead of just a raffle. Here's a raffle. A raffle. I bought I would go to Comic Cons. I would technically be a flipper. I guess we'll go off that. I would go buy con stuff and then just buy it online, get attention. I was actually when I was raffle king, we'll call it raffle king, when I was doing raffles. And then I said, okay, I'm going to call myself King Collectibles, And for like 2 years, I was going off King Collectibles, and I would just go to cons, buy stuff and sell them. Then my dad, one day just said, "Hey, I'm gonna retire soon. We have money. Do you want to invest in comic books? You're already, doing good for the experience you have." So I said, "All right,
Who
let,
would say no to that, right?
right." So yeah, so when he said that, he says, "Hey, let's start up." I was like, basically a business together. Said in that case, and that's how we actually met King Collectibles back in the day. And then my dad, when I said, well, if my dad's coming in, it's going to be something completely different. So I said, let's, end up being then Jolzar Collectibles, because it's technically us, our name and our business now. So I rebrand. I reached out to Sean and I said, hey, can you make a logo? I'm a big Hulk fan, so that's where you got the Hulk crushing the Jolzar. And my dad loved the idea. He actually sketched it out because my dad, he actually wanted to be a comic book artist back in the day, like I guess you could say 30 years ago, 40 years ago, back in the day. He always would draw for me when I was a kid. But so he drew it out. I showed it to Sean. Sean gave it back to me. And with the help of my dad's money and some that I had, I was able to start investing in comic books exclusives because it's pretty expensive. And from there, I'm so honored. So I guess I don't know what word to use, but I'm so I guess we'll say honored to be able to put out so many exclusives. And up to today, I've been selling out of comic books. Like I think yesterday I sold out of what is it, Berserker? I can't even
Berserker,
pronounce
yeah.
Berserker. I just sold out of that one.
Yeah, I seen you posted there was 3 left, and I went and looked, and by the time I clicked on the link, they were gone. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, I did not expect that, to be honest with you. I did not see that coming. I would have probably reserved a little more, even for myself, just to keep, because I think I came down to probably me having about 7 of them for my personal. I think that's a little bit because then my dad comes in, it's like, here's his, my little brother and my sister, here's theirs, But I'm so glad that it's been doing so good. But in the middle of all that, I've always had this thing where I would always write like a story randomly. Even when I was younger, I would randomly write. I think the first story that I ever wrote, like even a script for, I think it was called The Garden. It was like a horror story that I wrote, and then there was another one called like The Fields, and again it was a horror one. And I just wrote them and I tossed them, but this was like 10 years ago, and I never cared about anything. I just wrote them, left them, and about 3 years ago, I came up with a superhero, which his name is Arson. I wrote it. I contacted, I think it was Robert, to help me with the dialogue on a script because I can't. That's something I just can't do, So he wrote that out for me. I brought in Diego Galindo to take on the project. He was up to today one of my favorite artists. I used them for I think over 15 exclusives already. That project was delayed though. That was actually supposed to come out before Power Ninja Toons. Power Ninja Toons was really supposed to be the second book I ever put out because I didn't want my first project to be like a parody. But I really didn't have a choice anymore, especially that I told Sean, "Hey, let's move forward with this. You should revisit those titles you threw away." I probably will one day. I probably will. So I reached out to Sean and I said, "Hey, let's." I actually reached out to him first about Arson. He was supposed to help color the project, and Diego was gonna do the pages and give it to him, and he was gonna do the coloring so it can help him because he's so busy. Well, I can't say sadly. I'm glad that Diego got a bigger opportunity. So he reached out to me saying, "Hey, I can't do this anymore." But I had already told Sean to move forward with Power Ninja Tunes. So I said, you know what? In a way, not that I'm saying I'm glad that happened because I still want Arson to happen. But it delayed my budget because I can't, just say let's, if Diego would have agreed to move forward, I would have found a way to pay it. But now,
It's with an I, Jack. With an I. I
yeah,
know it's
and I
Rust Explode Studios. He's talking about arson. It starts to get kind of.
Arson. Yeah, I'll try to show you a quick little preview of that. I'll try. I do have how he looks and stuff like that, but arson with an S. I wanted it to sound like sin. I thought that would be pretty cool. So he couldn't move forward with it, so I delayed the project. I said, let's do Power Ninja Tunes. If it was already moving forward, and as of today, I think we're almost done with it. So I'm pretty happy. I think they're like coloring already, like the 8th page, I would say 7th or 8th page. So it's
We've got a page we can show off on here too.
Yeah, let's show it.
Let's see. It is right here.
There you go. I love Zordon as a porky pig. Yeah, no, that's so they're like page 8. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, this project's already, the story's done. They're doing the art for it and the coloring. So basically, once this goes on to Kickstarter, this is going to be an already almost completed project.
Yeah, step 2 from here will literally be printing. That's from after the Kickstarter. We're about, I would say, as of right now, 60% done. Probably cool. By the time even the Kickstarter launches, we'll probably be at 70%. Then that 30% will be the printing, and I'm hoping we, can fund that because it's not, cheap, but it will be I think it's going to be a fun story. I think I've read it like 30 times, and I'm not the script, even when what was who man I lost his name for a second.
Rodney. What's up, Rodney? What's going on, buddy?
Rodney. When Rodney sent me the script, I read it so many times and I loved it. I was even laughing. So I really hope it will entertain a lot of people. I think it's such a fun story to even go back and read. I read it multiple times.
And then Jack had a question about arson. He said, so is the villain named Sin Eater since you like the word sin?
No, I'll tell you what the name is of the main villain. His name is Zaid, actually. Zade. Zaid. And I think he's really cool. And I like that name, Zaid. I don't know if it's catchy. Arson versus Zaid, and it's like his Venom, let's say, his Lex Luthor,
Yeah. No, I totally understand. That's like my character, Raziel. I wanted to name our son Raziel because I love the name, and my wife's like, hell no, ain't happening. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So whenever I went to do my book, I'm like, you know what? I'm naming the character Raziel. I'm going to make it happen. So,
And I feel like Zaid is such a catchy name, and it feels like villainous too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Zaid. I think I'm going a little too much into detail for that project. Let's hope it happens. Let's hope it happens. Honestly, I told myself everything depends on the Kickstarter. That once I reach my goal, I'll know. Even Sean knows already. He knows there's a green light waiting for that. Nice to see you in the flesh. You are super nice. Keep it going. Oh, that's one of my customers. How you doing? Thank you for watching the show.
And then Jamie asked, it'll be only a single issue, correct, for Power Toons?
Yes, it will be a one shot. And hey, he's a good customer of mine as well. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. I can't even see how many people are online and stuff or anything, but that's cool. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it will be a one shot, due to legal, legal issues, I guess you could say. It can only be a one shot, but it's fun. It's a fun thing. I wish I could keep going, but it's just those things that I would like to give you something else like arson that I could continue. I think arson, the crazy thing about that project is it's such a big universe. It's been in the makings for like 4 years. So it's such a big universe. There's so much. I already have so much with that, and I'm really hoping, you know, Power Ninja Tunes, because all my budget money is there. I'm hoping it reaches the goal, so I can just greenlight Arson, and I feel like people are gonna love that.
Get out of here, Jack. So yeah, no, that's that's totally understandable. I mean, doing the one shot, you didn't really want to do that. It is kind of cool though to take something that you had an idea of, and you're like, hey, this would be fun. And yeah, your main project's on hold right now, but this is kind of like dipping your toes in the water and getting out there on Kickstarter. Because I mean, this will be your first Kickstarter campaign, correct?
Yeah, not to mention, in a way, that Power Ninja Tunes being my first Kickstarter. Um, thank you, thank you so much. We try our best to put out the best exclusives, but this being my first project, Power Ninja Tunes, could be a good thing because I think a parody of, you know, Power Rangers, Looney Tunes, and Ninja Turtles will probably grab more attention for an audience than Arson probably would realistically, because usually when somebody sees something that they never heard of, it really won't care about it until a little later, until there's a real buzz for it. So hopefully I can bring in an audience and show that we're a, I guess you could say, a new publishing company. And if you enjoyed this, I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy Arson. So it can kind of start my path for people, you know?
Yeah, well, to give them a taste of your storytelling style and you know what your writing capabilities and stuff are, and it's definitely an awesome thing to have. So
Yeah.
who were your inspirations as far as characters growing up? Like, what was your favorite superhero?
Well, my favorite superhero as a kid was Superman. Well,
Superman.
Superman, when it comes, I like to say Superman in the DC world, and then Spider-Man when it comes to the Marvel world.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because when you say one, I like to pick one from the universe, although it's hard. But Superman's always been my favorite superhero. I grew up watching Smallville. You know what? I don't have an official date, but it is gonna happen on February. I'm waiting on some paperwork. Once I have that fine paperwork, I will have the exact date. But it's somewhere, it can even be, I know it's gonna probably be in between February 10th through the 25th. In between any of those days. I'll make sure I should have that paperwork, hopefully. I'm hoping by next Friday. So once I have that, I will definitely start promoting the actual date. It's just a little hard right now, but I'm hoping yeah, next week I can have an official date for it. I would have loved to give an official date for the show here, but due to the paperwork, you know?
No, man, you got all the legal stuff and nonsense that you got to do and everything. It's totally understandable. You got to wait on. You can't rush it. It's got to be perfect when you put it out there. You got to finesse it.
Yeah, no, but luckily we're almost there. We're almost there, which is very cool to see, you know?
Well, and that's where I learned about it from was from Sean and Rodney. They do like Thursday night throwdown, Friday night draw, and they have a face off where Sean and Rodney get on, uh, and the audience picks basically what characters they want to see each one draw. You know, they don't pick for Sean or Rodney. Sean and Rodney kind of toss it back and forth who's going to do which character, but they do like He-Man and stuff like that. But Sean and Rodney have been posting about it and talking about it, and I was like, "What is this about? This looks cool," you know. And so they've definitely been doing a good job of promoting it, and that's when I reached out to you, and I'm like, "Hey, Jose, what's going on with this project? I really like to talk about it. It looks pretty cool." Because Sean and Rodney they're a great group of guys, and we have a good time joking around and stuff. So when you said earlier that Rodney sent you the script and you were cracking up, I was like, "Yeah, I can totally see that."
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna be. Hopefully we're planning out a date for that show as well, and I'm hoping the new Green Ranger cover for. Thank you, I appreciate it. That was all Bond. Honestly, the artist he blew me away with that as well. You know that all the credit goes to him on those. He really blew me away. Thank you. Um, I'm supposed to be on that show as well. I'm hoping when we schedule that, I will have the official date for the Kickstarter then, and hopefully I can get a preview going. I'm just waiting for that paperwork. Once I get that, everything is
That
is a
dang paperwork every time. We gotta wait on
yeah,
that
but
paperwork.
it's almost there. I have a meeting tomorrow actually, and that meeting will technically almost determine everything. A favorite villain. Mm, I do. Well, you know what? I'm actually playing with myself because I thought about a couple of them in my head right now. So I think I'm fooling myself if I really do have a favorite one. But the first one that did came to my mind was Venom. But then Thanos then out of nowhere came up too, So it's tough, but I think I would go with Venom. He's you know what? I actually have my shirt. It's the Venomized Deadpool, but I'll go with Venom.
And Venomized everything's awesome. Like I found the other day they had Venomized Groot, and I was just cracking up. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, can you imagine a Venomized Power Ninja Tunes? That
Oh,
would be
that'd be crazy.
that would be right. Anything could get Venomized. We'll see if we could get something like that one day.
So do you have like a favorite series? So I mean, that like is there? I know you said you like Superman in the DC world and you like Spider Man in the Marvel world, but do you have like a specific series that's like your Grail or a book that's your Grail that you want to get someday
Um, you mean as in
for your
as,
collection?
oh, you know what? Yeah, I would love to own a first appearance of Hulk. I don't own one. In a high grade,
Yeah.
that is something I would love to own in my collection. I'm trying to think about what's the most expensive. I probably don't have a big first appearance in my collection. You know what I collect? When it comes to collecting comic books, even see that in my Spider-Man noir. Oh, that would be cool. That actually would be cool. I just didn't even. That would be cool. That would be cool. Um, I usually collect what I love. I like to say.
Yeah.
So usually on my comic books, like I have a bunch of stuff that's like in my collection that it's probably not even worth anything, but I just love it. So
Oh yeah. No, I totally get it.
those I prefer collecting those usually than grails because grails usually are just hey, I have a first appearance.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what
they're-
I meant. Like, what's your Grail book? Like, not even like it's a Grail book, like it's a Hulk, first appearance of Wolverine or anything like that. Like, what is your Grail book? What is your favorite book that you have in your collection?
my favorite book. It's actually, and I would love to go get it, but I'd have to find it. But it's actually the Spider-Man and Batman crossover. I have it signed by Stan Lee. I think it came out like 95, I think it was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that one. That to me, even though it's probably really not worth anything, just having Spider-Man and Batman on a cover, I think is epic,
That is really cool. I'll start writing the Venomized Wars tomorrow.
The Venomized Wars.
Venomized Lord Dracula. That would be hard to beat.
Venomized Wars. That sounds catchy. Venomized Wars. Wow, there you go. Look at that. You shouldn't have said that. No, I'm just kidding. You shouldn't have said that information. No.
Yeah,
No,
it's gonna be wrote tomorrow, right?
Yeah, time to work tomorrow, Rodney. That would sound fun. Something just crazy.
Venomized Doctor Doom would be Lord Dragon.
Simpsons Venomized. That would be. He just art. Yeah, funny.
So that's awesome. So did you get to meet Sam Lee? Did you get the book signed personally whenever it released, or?
Yeah, that one was actually one of the ones that I did get signed by him. Actually, now that I think of it, yeah, that one was. I got a couple books signed by him that I still actually own, and yeah, I did get to meet him a couple times at a few shows. And yeah, I used to have I mean, it downsized, but I used to have a pretty big collection signed by Stan Lee. But I have that one. I think I got that one signed in Las Vegas when he went to the amazing. What is it? The Amazing Las Vegas. You know what?
I've never been that way before to a show.
Actually, I it came back to me. It was actually in Seattle Comic Con where he signed that one. And I remember because this is actually crazy, and I tell everybody. But when he was signing the book, he actually picked it up and looked at it. Out of all my books, so in a way, it had some meaning,
Yeah.
It was the last one there, so I technically I wasn't even rushed, everyone was out, and I was just getting all my stuff signed. And when it came to the Spider-Man and Batman one, I just remember him just picking it up and just going like this.
Who approved this? No, I'm just kidding.
literally, and then he just put it down, and then he just signed away. I remember that, little Sean. Out of all the books, I just remembered right now, so I'm actually glad that you touched that subject because I had totally forgot about that.
And that, you know what, that's the cool thing about getting books signed, and that's why I grade a lot of my books. It's I want to keep them mint, but it's really cool being able to hang them up, and you walk by and you're like, man, I remember that. That was at C2E2, and in 2019 I went and I got to meet so and so, face to face, and every book has a story behind it. It's not just a signature. It's not just about having a book that's worth money because it was signed by so and so. It's a memory. It's like taking a photograph went somewhere.
Yeah, and them putting the dates on there is probably the biggest plus.
Yep. It's like, where did I get this signed at? I'm getting senile.
You know why I didn't say that? The reason is sometimes I think a little different, and I can't see myself owning one due to the price tag on it.
Oh yeah, it's like you can wish in one hand, and
so I so I like to think like a Hulk I can less than or a couple thousand even I could get myself a low grade. Yeah. So and I don't even think that one even a couple thousand will get me to have a low grade.
A couple thousand will give you a fourth of the cover.
Probably a ripped page and divided some. But
here's an ad out of the book. For
literally. So sometimes I think a certain way. So I would love to own that though, but
aside from like Sean and Rodney and them, what are some of your favorite artists? Like, what are some of the artists that you like the most?
It's hard sometimes again, even then, to answer those questions because
there's so many.
I can miss some, but
yeah,
I'll miss some, but I'm gonna try my best. Gabriel Delato, of course. Clayton Crane, Lucio Perello. I'm actually I got this amazing I got to meet. Oh, that's cool. No, I'm glad you got to meet them. I have this really cool cover coming out with Perello. I'm even gonna give the title out, Nonstop Spider-Man. My goodness, if you were to see that art, it blew me away because I think that cover let's just say it's a next step for him, and he's already top notch, when it comes to his art.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to even say. I personally think that's the best Spider-Man cover he's done.
Lucio's got some awesome covers. I met him at C2E2 in 19, and he was with Scorpion Comics there, and it was really cool because I got some of the books signed. He does amazing covers, but I actually got to see the original piece that Scorpion Comics had him do for the actual cover. And it was just phenomenal to see the piece. I mean, you look at the covers of the comics and you're like, oh man, that's beautiful. But when you actually get to see the original that was downsized and put onto the comic cover, it's just like, wow, and just even going to his page, he does some of the, where he's doing the shellacking or the, not shellac, but protective cover over the art. It's just amazing seeing the stuff that he paints. So that makes me excited to hear about that.
Yeah, no, that one's gonna blow people away. Do I even have it? I wonder if I can kinda, because it's my wallpaper. Give a little. There you go. There's a preview.
There's a hand. Awesome.
But that one blew me away. But Perillo and Diego Galindo. Believe it or not, when I saw Diego Galindo's work back when he was, I think this was like 2 years ago, when he was barely getting, out there, I immediately put him onto a bunch of my projects because I totally believed in him. I still do actually, as in the style he brought was so different and so real. So I'm definitely one of my favorite artists, but I could keep going from here,
Well, yeah, I mean, you could go on forever. I just kind of wanted an idea of what your favorite artists were. But it's hard. It's a hard question to answer because everyone has a different style. Like Perillo does the painted covers. There's a lot of artists that do phenomenal covers, but some of them it's like you see just the sketched part before it gets colored, and you're like, oh man, the sketch is beautiful. Just seeing an artist penciling, that's amazing.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy, but I believe there's some artists that just the sketch stands out so much more than even colored.
Yep.
I guess the perfect example for that is, and then Todd actually agrees with himself on that. He doesn't even like colored, so Todd, there's some artists. I just had another one in my head that when you see his stuff like Jim Lee, black and white, they just look so much better. I don't know why,
Oh no, I totally agree. I had a couple of covers that I had commissioned, and I had them colored, and I seen the sketches before they were colored, and then I seen when they were colored, and I'm like, I really like this. I should have just stuck with the pencil because it looks so much better. It looks awesome. It's like, man, I'm gonna have to commission this again just to get the pencils for it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know what you mean.
Comments just went crazy. Oh, okay, nothing new.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, StreamYard does this thing where it'll comment dump all of a sudden, and then it goes nuts. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody's stuff on here. They're supposed to be fixing it, but
one thing that I don't think I have even mentioned yet is, Marat Michaels definitely inspired me to do the Power Ninja Toons. I don't think that would have even existed if it wasn't for him. Because another thing that motivated me too was just him, So I definitely want to thank him for that because I don't think, and then having him approve my project basically is big.
yeah,
It was to me, honestly, that day because I actually called him. I called him and I talked to him, and I don't think I would have moved forward with this project if it wasn't for his
blessing on it. Yeah,
let's say. I don't think I would have, and just hearing him on the phone and hearing him so positive about it, so much positive energy, I was just blown away. And I said, okay, this is moving forward. I have his approval. He likes it. Now let's just wait and see how the audience receives it. We'll say, but I believe in it. It doesn't work. That is true. That is true. But yeah, no, yeah, I want to thank Marat. I don't think this would be here again. This project or even Jolzar Entertainment would even exist. I think he pushed me far. It's not ready for each other. Amazing art. Yes, they are.
Well, that and man, getting a signature from Clayton Crane when he does like the rainbow signature. I don't know if you've seen those or not.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
I don't. It's crazy because up to today, I think he started the what do you call it? Like the marker trend, those water paint markers. Is that what you call them? The blue one, the ones that stand out, the yellow one, the red. Because I don't think I've ever seen an artist do that other than when he started it. So he definitely started a trend, and definitely one of my top artists. I'm glad I'm honored actually to have him. I got to have him on an exclusive of mine.
The Infinity signature.
Yeah, there you go, the Infinity signature. I'm so honored I was able to get him on one of my projects because he's such a busy guy and he has his own thing going on. So when he told me he would do a Power Ranger cover for me, you have no idea. Like I was just like, whoa.
You're fangirl and you're like, oh.
I did not even know. And then after that, it's been harder, to get him on to work on some of my exclusives. But just having him on board for that was pretty big, and I had to choose Power Rangers that usually when retailers come in, because there's retailers that come in for I guess you could say for the big books.
Yeah.
So they all usually go with Tommy, or the Green Ranger. So when I got Crane involved, I said, you know what? If anyone else does something, I know it's going to be Tommy related. So I want my cover to always stand out. So I had him do basically a Jason cover, which is the original Red Ranger, the Omega Red Ranger, and the Gold Zeo. And those are, to me, are just right next to Tommy, that character. So I had him do that because I didn't think no one else would ever want to try those characters. And I'm glad that up to today, no one has done that. So I feel like my Crane cover stands out, so I'm glad I had him on board. And I got to get some signed,
Yeah, that's cool. Definitely want to do something different. I mean, you see a lot of the Tommy covers. It's like almost every single one of them. So it was really cool that you did something different. And then Jack asked, what's your favorite Power Ranger?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, you put them in between a rock and a hard place on this
I
one.
know that's really, really a tough one. That's, oh yeah, I love that one. I would have to go with Jason David Frank, and then the original Red Ranger. I think those were the biggest ones for me when I was a kid. And then it was Billy, which is David Yost, the Blue Ranger. Those were usually the three that I would always want to be when I was a kid, I guess you could say, or when me and my cousins would play video games, I would have to want to be one of those, playing or even fighting. And, as a kid, when one said that they were that one, I would have to be one of those. I hope that answered that question. But it's hard. It
is definitely a hard question to answer.
Yeah, it is tough. Because even then, now that, I thought of it, it's like, no, but I remember that the original Red Ranger was my favorite, And then I'm like, but wait, then your mind just starts. You go to CGC tomorrow. Thanks again. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you get a high grade. I sat down. I remember when I shipped your order, I was staring at him for like 10 minutes. And I said, this is the highest one I have, So I'm glad. I usually, when I ship books out, I sit there and I really, really grade them as the highest I could. I look at like 10 of them before I ship the person's order. I just try to give them the best copy, especially when I'm not really busy and I don't have too many orders to ship out. I try to send always the best cover, so they can get as high as the higher grade, as possible.
Yeah, well, which sometimes it's hard to do. You get these orders in that look like they've been thrown out of a helicopter, ran over by a tank, and then somebody golfed it onto your front porch, and you're like, you pick it up and it's just like all tattered and shredded. And sometimes it's crazy. You can get the worst looking packages and the books are totally okay on the inside. You're like, how does that happen? And then you get some package that looks perfectly fine and you open it up and it looks like it had shaken baby syndrome or something where the book just got shaken all around on the inside. So it's a hard thing shipping comics. You can ship out the best looking thing and package it like Fort Knox and you just worry about it the whole time.
It's funny because you're right. I remember when I got in some boxes that were beat up, I was even stressed. Yeah, but of course. The thing was, I was really trying to go off a list without giving too many, Yeah. But of course, Zach, anything original Power Rangers is my favorite. Anything original. I should have probably even just said that in the beginning instead of, because it's hard, but anything Power Rangers related that's original, it's, I actually have a lot of people that actually even message me and ask questions like that. Or when or certain business people that I do business with, they actually ask me certain questions about Power Rangers, and I actually don't even know what's going on. I clocked out back like 15 years ago. I think on Lost Galaxy was the last show I ever saw, and I never went back and watched any of the new stuff, anything. So even some people still think, because I am a Power Ranger fan, and my exclusives, I have so many Power Rangers, so they think that I even watch the show up to the newest things, the newest episodes, but I really don't. It's just I really like the classic.
Yeah. Well, I'm the
It,
same way. My 5-year-old son, he watches the new Power Rangers, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I don't
you
even
know,
understand what's going on right now.
I was just at a signing with David Yost. What was it, like last weekend? And the store was playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it felt very good actually watching it. It felt like, I don't know, like nothing will top it again. And that again, the last time I really saw Power Rangers was such a long time ago, and then just kind of rewatching it, um, I was just like, dang, this is some good stuff. So I don't even know how but I would eventually see either a trailer or something of the new Power Rangers, and I feel like I just can't watch it, or I wouldn't be interested in it. And for anybody who likes Power Rangers like I do, I love the fact that he's not human. Like, I don't even know who that person is. I'm
I don't
sorry.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah, the original is so cheesy.
but 10 times better than the up. I
Yeah.
think you just said it. Yep,
Yeah,
correctly.
I'll never forget, like, I don't even, man, it's been probably 25 years when, like, one of the first Power Ranger movies came out. Uh, I remember my grandma and grandpa got it for me for Christmas, and I was so freaking excited to take it home and watch it on VHS, mind you. It was way before DVD was invented. I probably watched that VHS like 100 times. The older is definitely better, but man, you go back and watch it now, it's like, my God, that was cheesy.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, no, back to what we were talking about. We got derailed there again on Power Rangers. But yeah, man, you got to worry about packaging so bad because, I mean, especially on these exclusives like what you have, when they're limited to like 50 or 100 or 150 or whatever they are, it's like, you know, you send some of them out and half of them get destroyed on the way to their customer, and you're like, all right, now you have a one of 25.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. That's something that what actually threw me off when I had, I guess you could say, my first sellout. When I first sold out of my last run-in, it was my first sellout ever. So I didn't even keep track of my inventory. You're gonna say, like, what? So I luckily I found out how many I sold, and I was literally like right there. The biggest problem I had was if I had damages. And I got so lucky when I shipped everything out, there was literally no replacements. So this was it. So I said, oh my goodness, I oversold. I should have kept like 25 on the side just in case. And it worried me. That week I shipped everything, not to mention when you're taking, I think I packaged over 300 books that week. So taking all that to the post office, and when you give it to them, sometimes when it's so much work, that hour for that employee, they sometimes throw things just to hurry up, scan and throw. So I was worried. I said, I just hope nothing arrives damaged. I said, well, the worst thing that can happen if someone gets it damaged, I just will refund them. There's really no other choice.
Yeah.
Everything arrived safe, but now I know how to, plan everything out and keep a little safe stash on the side. No, I don't know the God of Death.
Oh man, you have no idea how excited I was when I got it because it wasn't one of those box VHS. It was one of those like Disney oversized plastic uh, flip open containers that it came in. Oh yeah, and I got the soundtrack too, to it. So that was awesome too. The original motion picture soundtrack on CD, and I still have it to this day, which is hilarious. They talk like
Something about my mom, that up to today I'm like, why? Why? And I need to talk to her about that. No, but my mom has always been the type of person that if there's something in our house and you're not using it anymore, or you just no longer need it, she'll get rid of it. Yeah, so she got rid of so many of my stuff that I had that was Power Ranger related. And now that I'm like, now that I've been on all these shows, and I see all these people bring, these toys to get signed that was theirs when they were kids, or their VHSs or their CDs, or anything Power Ranger related. I sit back and I'm like, dang, I was like, if only my mom, didn't throw away this, or if only my mom didn't, but she was like that, with a bunch of my stuff. So half the time I would even get home and I would be missing some clothes, and she's like, you don't wear those anymore. I'm like, what? But I like that shirt. I remember one time she did that. I got home one day and so many of my shirts were missing, and I knew it. She was like, oh, you just don't wear those anymore. I'm like, but I really like them. I was like, dang, at the time, I don't even know if you remember, but like in the early 2000s, there was a lot of shirts that it had like Popeye on it, and he had like earrings, glasses, and there was like a little wave going on like for a couple years where they just had classic cartoons like Cat in the Hat dressed up as like with the tuxedo and the hat and cigar. It had so many cool ones. Black Panther, I even remember. I had so many of those shirts, and like for an example, she got rid of those. Yeah. Oh, funny. No, I know, right? I know.
Okay. Man, that's how it was for me all the time. I'd come home from school and I would have like, one of my big things was Legos. I had like a ton of Legos. I had this mech I had this train set that I took the trussels off of for the bridge, and I used those for the legs, and I built a mech out of Legos. Mm-hmm. This thing was badass. It was like probably 2 foot tall, almost 3 foot tall, and it was like fully articulated, and it was awesome. And one day I come home from school and it's just like gone. I'm like, hey, where's my mech robot? Oh, you don't play with Legos anymore. You don't have time for that. And I'm like, you threw away my Legos? Like all of those creations that I made? So I totally get where you're going with that. My mom threw my stuff away all the time. It was a bad deal.
No, I had a lot of things I would love to have, today as an adult, and then it's funny. She would say that you no longer need these. And then now that sometimes, I'm at, shows and other Power Rangers are there, when I'm with David Yost, I'm like, man, I could have had this and I could have had that signed. I could have had this and that signed,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well,
Yeah, you walk by at a con, you see this figure you have in your kid that's in the case for $100,000 because they only made like 50 of them. And you're like,
yeah,
I have one of those sitting at the dump somewhere.
Someone got lucky.
Someone got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So what other, besides Power Rangers, what other type of exclusives do you do? I know you mentioned earlier you did exclusive for Berserker.
So now I actually partnered up with, actually this year, I would like to say this year, I just partnered with the 616 Comics. So you guys should check them out. And we have it's crazy because we have so many projects locked in with them. We got Nonstop Spider-Man. We got Joker #1. We got the new Dark Knight one that they just announced coming. Man, so many projects. So there's going to be so many things. So follow me, follow them. We're going to have a lot of things coming. A lot of cool projects, not just Power Rangers. We're trying to branch with different titles, Last Ronin, something I would like to share is I do got Last Ronin coming out for issue 3. I have four exclusives for that. I brought in a superstar artist for that, which I'm actually so excited, and I cannot wait to share that. I'm thinking we're going to share that within 2 to 3 weeks. But when I reached out to them, to him, we'll say, he accepted to do this project, I was blown away. And then, this is the crazy thing though, too. He's such a busy artist, such a busy artist. So there's a step on how we get the covers done. He sends me a concept. I give it to, IDW. IDW sends it to Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon sends it back to them with an approval. Then they go back to me. Then I go back to the artist, This artist is so busy that I said, hey, I want to have you on Last Ronin. Can you do Last Ronin? He's like, yes. one morning I wake up with an email, and I don't even think I paid him. Like and then remember, he's a superstar artist. So I woke up and I saw the email and I clicked it, and it was the art completely finished. So I was all like, "Oh, dang! I hope they approve it." I said, "Dang!" And then with the bill there too, I was like, "Oh, shoot!" I
Yeah.
hope they approve this. So I sent it to IDW, and I just told him, "Hey, we all know who this artist is and how busy he is." So he just sent it to me, and I'm glad they approved it. So we're actually already we can reveal it already even and pre-sell it. I'm just waiting for the right time. You look like my nephew. Thank you. I appreciate that so much, Richard. I really appreciate it. I'm 27 years old, by the way, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Which words do you like, even if it's? I would say the first ones, which would be the Megazord. The Megazord. That's my favorite. And you know what? I like the what do we call it? I'm telling you because I don't watch it. The Red Ranger, because I like a T-Rex. What is he called? I don't even know what he's called. But yeah, definitely I like T-Rexes. Dinosaurs. Um, but yeah, I cannot wait to reveal that cover. That cover is gonna blow people away, I think, and I think that one's gonna definitely sell out as well. It's a superstar artist, so I hope I can reveal it within 2 weeks. I have a partner for it, so it's those things where we both come to an agreement. Like winter pre-sale is gonna kick in. Not to mention with all the delays with Last Ronin, was my favorite age. Lucky you. Thank you. With Last Ronin having so many delays, I'm waiting for the right time to really announce it because I don't want to announce it like this week, for example, and then it gets delayed 3 months, or 2 months or a month later. So um, I hope I can reveal it at the right time so not too many people have to wait and just sit there for months and months and months.
But anyway, I was looking that up. Sorry, I didn't mean to like zone out on there. So is it the 616 Comics?
Yes, the 616
All
comic.
right, cool. I wanted to make sure before I posted the link, I found it.
Oh, cool. No, yeah, definitely. They're really good people. I've worked with I think I've worked with about 10 partners when it comes to exclusives. And I was just telling him too, I said, man, he's a real good guy. Definitely the type of people I want around my circle. So we have so many projects coming out together, and their Berserker's coming out, I think, tomorrow. And honestly, I think it's my favorite one. And yeah, you're gonna be like, what? But you got your own exclusive. But I'm being, honest. I think he has my favorite cover, and that's gonna pre-sell tomorrow, and it looks amazing. I hope I can jump on there and get one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
no,
only like a bajillion covers for it too. I mean, the book looks awesome. Don't get me wrong,
you
but
know
it's
that
like there's so many good covers. Like I don't even know which one to choose from.
I know, and that was one thing when Boom Studios told me they have so they have so much. This issue one took so much time for them to handle or to finish, that I can't even lock into an exclusive until issue 5. So you're gonna see me go from Berserker issue 1 to Berserker issue 5 exclusive, because they're not gonna take anything. That's how busy it was, and the demand was so high that they even reached a limit, and they said, you know what, cutoff is right here. No more exclusives for issue 1. So I got very lucky. I was able to uh, get this one on, with one of my favorite artists as well, Diego. But the 616 is probably my favorite cover that I've seen so far. Um, who knows? I'm pretty sure there's another 15 covers we haven't seen coming. So that could change, but up to today, that's my favorite one. And this goes live tomorrow. So make sure you hop on that. I think they have a low printed version that has like 200 prints. So yeah, you don't want to miss that one. If mine sold out, I'm pretty sure theirs is gonna sell out the same day. So check
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah, and like I said, it didn't take long because like literally it was 3 minutes yesterday. You had posted. It was like 2 or 3 minutes. I was like, "There's 3 sets of Berserker," because you had the gun one and then you had the sword one, the sword
Yeah.
and the knife. And I was like, "Oh man!" So I went and looked, and it was like it had set, and then it had sword and gun, and then when I went to click on the set, all the options disappeared and they were gone. I was like, "No."
You know, yeah, I didn't even expect that. Even let me tell you what happened actually. When I made that announcement that night, I'm not even kidding you. That night, I made the announcement that we sold out of that one and what they were going for on eBay. The next morning I woke up, I sold out. I woke up like looking at my phone and my phone was blown up and everyone bought the other issue, which was just the gun version, which was limited to 350 copies. And I immediately contacted my business partner. I'm like, hey man, I sold out. I was like, you know what? I did too. I'm like, what? I was like,
We're gonna
whoa.
have to hire somebody to help pack all these.
This is the crazy thing. I already told my wife. I said, you know what? I said, in the mid February, we're gonna ship a bunch of packages because of Last Ronin. This one comes out literally like a week or two after that. So I'm gonna probably ship about 800 packages that week. I mean, those 2 weeks. Is it because I have four exclusive? No, wait, four exclusives for Last Ronin. So that already alone, they're sold out. Or no, I think two are sold out, and two are almost sold out. So we're already talking about 400 to 500 packages with that, and then Berserker already jumping onto it. So we're talking about 700 to 800 packages. I actually got to start checking my packing supplies. I probably got to order a bunch of them,
But it's a good problem to have, right?
It is. I cannot complain. I am happy. I am happy. And that they're gonna keep me busy. Usually, when I'm that busy, I in my living room, I pack everything, because there's so much room, and I have a marathon. Like last time, I had a Transformers marathon, literally all day, because it's an all day thing. Literally, just put it on. You start with Transformers at 1, and I finished them all out, and then I said, okay, this was actually fun packing and just having that in the background, or somewhat looking.
Something to keep you occupied.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun,
And for those of you that missed out, too, we have a little bit of art to show off. So this is for Power Toons, which will be launching on Kickstarter. We had people coming in and out. We had some new people join in. So I wanted to show off some of the art for it again.
Here it is. That's and you know what? As a fan of Space Jam, remember, I love Looney Tunes. I had to have them playing basketball. Like, like what else? I don't think I could have found a better thing than Looney Tunes playing basketball when, before, they were called in to go save the world,
Yep.
That was the best thing I think I thought of. I said, you know what? They're going to be playing basketball.
So the main question that I have, one big question for all those that have stuck it through the show, what little bit of the story can you tell us without spoiling it? Do you have an elevator pitch for the book yet?
Let me tell you something. I sat down again. I read the script so many times, and now that the book is finished, but now it's just being colored, so I got to see all the pictures. The all the art. I thought of so many times of what to share about the story, because I feel like when I read it, like for the first time, even trying to tell myself this is the first time reading, I'm blown away. So I'm trying as best as I can not to share too much information. And I'm trying to, even in the description for it, or the summary for it, I'm trying as best as I could to tell everybody in a way that the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles and the Looney Tunes it's going to be those books where even the title and what you see speaks for itself. I have some really cool, their villain is very cool. There's some cool surprises. Hey, we got Sean.
What's going on, Sean?
He did the one behind bringing everything to life. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, the one that when he showed, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'm gonna change it real quick. When I thought of Looney Tunes and Power Rangers, I thought so much in my head, how the heck are they gonna look good? Like, you get what I mean? Because it sounds like doesn't sound right. Like a Bugs Bunny as a Green Ranger. It sounds like how are they gonna look? So when I finally said, I'm gonna move forward and however they look, it is what it is. When Sean, gave me, the concept, I was blown away. I said, no way. I couldn't have brought a team better than this. The script, the concept, he blew me away. I think I expected this, let's say, and they gave me more than I would have wanted. They gave it 1,000%. And I'm so happy that they're a part of this project, because it meant so much to me. So he definitely brought it to life, and I really hope people enjoy it. But as a summary for it, I'm gonna try as best as I know to
No, I
there,
just laugh because people ask me the same thing about my book, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's
because it's
hard.
like you get so here's the thing, you get so excited because you want to talk about the cool stuff that happens in the book, and you're like, in your brain you're like, okay, don't mention this, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna get too excited and I'm gonna mention this, I know it's gonna come out, so how do I say it without blurting this out? And it's so hard, it's so hard because there's so much awesome stuff that happens.
No, yeah, not to mention, I got to feature some characters, I guess you could say, that no, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm glad you guys are a part of this. You guys really made it what it is. I don't think it would have been um, complete. You guys really completed it. I don't think nothing made it better. Yeah, you like it so much. Yeah, no, yeah, and I hope we could get you onto other projects. If I hope the Kickstarter goes the way it's supposed to. Not, I mean, and then the way I tell everybody too, I'm not even looking to like profit on this. I'm really just looking to keep doing this. If I can just keep doing this, I think I'd be happy. I wouldn't ask for any more. If I can break even for everything I do, or even get 50% of it even funded, um, I wouldn't ask for any more. I think I will even feel accomplished and seeing, things that I wanted to see. So like for Arson, I hope that, that happens. And I will put Sean and Rodney to handle that as well. I hope it goes smooth with everything, because they already know the next project's ready and just ready to move forward. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think. What I could tell you guys about it, other than if you like Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and Looney Tunes, you're gonna like the story. I would even I've been even thinking, should I just share some more? But this threat coming to them is really cool. It's a fun villain. Um,
Well, I mean, it's going to be fun all around. It's cool
yeah,
because you're revisiting characters that we grew up with as kids. The Power Rangers and Looney Tunes, watching Looney Tunes as a kid. And then, like you said, the whole thing with Space Jam. When Space Jam came out, it was so cool because, in the last 10 years, Looney Tunes stuff has kind of died off. You really don't see a whole lot of it anymore. And some of it's, become, what's the word for it? I don't know. It's become, the world has changed so much. So some of the stuff is not even socially, I don't even know. It's just craziness. Just like the whole thing with Paw Patrol.
you know
It's
what?
shunned. There's the word I'm looking for. People shun some of the stuff that goes on in the episodes.
And not to mention, Space Jam 2. Like
Yeah.
how long have we been waiting for that? Like, even when they announced that it was gonna happen, I think they announced it back like 8 years ago.
Yep.
So when it was legitly confirmed, it's not like we're
Thank
finally
you.
gonna get it.
That's what I was looking for right there. It became politically correct and it sucks. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Because it did change. It did change
It
a lot.
did.
I'm back to those old school ones. Never get old.
No.
Fun to watch all the time. But hopefully people like all this and they enjoy it. Hopefully, I'm hoping within a week or two, I can get that Kickstarter preview going, or yeah, when I have the official date, that paperwork done, and if so, I think I'll have a better summary on there, because I really got to sit and think and just lay in bed and be like, okay,
How am I not going to ruin this?
how am I? I'm actually even look like the preview we just gave. I was looking at all the pages and say, what's the preview I'm going to give? Do we get to see any previews? Oh yes, there you go. There you go. What's something I can tell people, because there's gonna be a cover for it. There's gonna be a last Ronin turtle. So I think that would be something cool to share, because there will be a cover that I will be revealing within a week or so, hopefully. So there will be a last Ronin turtle. So that's super cool because last Ronin is very popular. We will also have a last Ronin homage that will be on Kickstarter. So I think,
So since it includes the turtles, is there going to be an April O'Neil in there too?
You know what? No, sadly,
No?
no. You know what? With everything I put in already to this, I think it would have been very hard to fit her in. 24 pages. But no, sadly, I really would have loved to though.
But we know
But
there's pizza involved though, right?
you know what? I don't think there's time for pizza.
There's no time for pizza?
No,
What?
I don't think. No, yeah, I don't think there was time for pizza. Thinking the cover now, the Looney Tunes, just to order me and you. Yes. We'll have I'm inking. It will be on Kickstarter, so all those covers will be on there. It's nonstop action. There you go. I think you know what we should apply. Call it nonstop Power Ninja Tunes. Like nonstop Spider-Man. That. No, but yeah, it's basically so. There's so many. I had to fit in so many things in there. So there's very little kickbacks. It's more of once the Power Ninja Tunes get that call, it's on from there. Is or not? How do you get past licensing or permissions to use Looney Tunes thing or not? So it's actually a parody. So we actually don't need any licensing or permissions. When you parody something, like for example, we're not using in the book anything that has to do with names like Looney Tunes. We're just kind of saying it on the show, but it's a parody. It's a parody. They all even like Bugs isn't even Bugs on there, or he's not even Bugs, should I say? Tweety isn't even Tweety either. They're different characters. They're different characters. So yeah, legally,
it's just a parody, just like the Do You Poo and the Tig'em verse and all that stuff. How they're able to slide by. We were just talking about things now suck compared to the way they used to. I mean, as far as Power Ninja Tunes goes, we know kind of the background of the characters because we watched the shows when we were a kid, and this is just kind of a parody take on what if all three were combined and in a story, basically.
There you go. You said it. You said it. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that's why. Yeah, you were gonna say?
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
The name. You know what? When I came up with the name, though, I was thinking I originally was gonna call it Mighty Power Toons, but it felt weird, and then it felt like the Ninja Turtles were left out. So I couldn't think of anything. Then out of nowhere, I said, "Well, why don't we do Power, Ninja, and then Toons, and you got all three of them in one."
So yes, how long have you been creating?
I think a lot. So I would like to say about 10, 15 years, maybe. In my mind though, because sometimes I come up with, this, that, this. Sometimes even when I would see movies, I would I don't know why I would think, man, I would have changed this or this or this. I think about that a lot, So it was just just naturally happened somehow. I don't really know the backstory of it. Honestly, one day I just
Well, it's like you mentioned earlier, like 10 years ago, you wrote The Fields and the Garden, and you were just like, oh, okay, here's a horror story. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side.
you know what I was even gonna do? I was actually even gonna film those. And what was getting me to motivating me was paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Because it was just so easy to just get a phone or your camera and just make it happen. And I wrote it out so good. Not to mention, if you were on a budget, you could have made a lot of scenes look good, and scary without, So I was gonna do that, but I think I had already finished the script and I had everything written out. Then the problem I had there was the actors, because I like, as in who I was gonna bring into it. Walk into. Let's show him what he walked into. The picture.
What you walked into.
This is what you walked into.
You walked into this.
Power Ninja Tunes. Kickstarter's coming in February.
Yep, in February, mid-February. I see Dragonzord coming out of the water with a carrot in its mouth.
Funny, right? With a big carrot in his mouth.
Carrot sword.
Carrot, yeah. Carrot Zord, yeah, there you go. I didn't even think of that. Carrot Zord, wow. We're gonna have to give him some credit for that. I'm gonna have to bring him on board to help me out on the next project.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened. I have, actually, this is actually, now that you asked that question, I think I would say 5 original stories that I have planned for Jolzar Entertainment. For Arson, technically I got like 5 already. So let's just say I have 10. Arson, because it's such a big universe already, I have about 5 stories already and characters when their own worlds. And I have 4 other originals that I came up with that were super cool. There's one that I'm actually wanting to move forward on that one. I when I thought about it, I don't think I've ever seen that been done. So I don't even want to share too much about it, but I haven't seen that been done. And I think it'll be super interesting to see what what I created, let's say. So there's something. And then I have a horror story as well. So I got a couple things there just waiting. The Kickstarter will determine everything,
I don't know if he wants that.
Just get.
So I do have a quick question. So when you say you have 5 stories for Arson, do you mean 5 issues or 5 story arcs total?
You know what? So look, Arson is gonna be 3 issues.
So 3
Those
issues.
3 issues though, which can, hopefully I wrapped up the arc in 3 issues. Actually, I couldn't say I didn't wrap it up. I started the world in those 3 issues. So it'll wrap up in issue 3 if I hope we get there. Issue 4 would technically just continue from Arson issue 4. Then with the characters you get to meet in issue 1, 2, and 3, other characters, will begin basically their stories, their backstories. How did that happen? And issue 1 of Arson is basically gonna share the beginning of everything. And then issue 3 is technically just saying, dang, what's next, with what happened.
Yeah.
And we can just go from so many ways there. This character is very cool, very different. I made sure that it was something that people haven't seen. Something I could share with you is one of his powers is he technically can smoke through things. So if he wanted to, and how there's holes in doors and stuff like that, or even a window, he could smoke through it and get his form back. If he falls off a plane, which is a scene actually on there, falls off, he can jump off a plane, and right before he lands, he'll just turn into smoke, and then he'll reposition himself, obviously, and come back to his character. and just land. So he doesn't need a parachute and stuff like that. You get what I mean?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of his abilities. That's very different. So very, very his right here, a sword comes out and it kind of just goes straight into his arm. You know, just it's pretty cool. So I hope we can get that project going. The Kickstarter determines everything.
We were talking about that before we went live about how we can't draw, and yeah, the good old Steph pool.
No, yeah, I can't even draw. I wish I can draw. You should see my concepts for arson. My wife actually had to step in because mines were bad. And when I started explaining and started drawing them out, they would just look so bad. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Especially when I was talking to Diego, because we actually created the character, you know, the concept and everything together, speaking to him, messaging him. No, it's like this, like that, you know. Getting to that was pretty hard. My wife had to step in because she can actually draw way better than I can, like 10 times better. So, you know, I'm like first grade. She's like, you know, way above that. Oh, well, let's see Power Rangers and Thundercrest story. That's creative ways. You know, I don't think I would be doing a parody anytime soon. After this, hopefully by then I can really bring my original content, and hopefully I can maybe toss in something else later. Like, who knows? Scooby-Doo, right? Scooby-Doo, I don't know, doing something. Venomized Scooby-Doo. There you go. I don't know. You know? I don't know. But I would love to bring my original content first, especially two of them before I ever get into another parody. Not to mention, I'm really hoping I get to work with Marat. That is something to me, I think that would be something big, because I'm inspired by him. So working with the person that inspired you actually would probably be like a mission accomplished with me, you know. And working with Sean, believe it or not, it's like if I worked with him before already, with him doing all the poo covers and coloring them. So and doing my logo as well. He actually did two of my logos already. He did one for the, you know, Jolzar Collectibles and Entertainment, and he did one for my bounce house business as well. No. That's funny. No, she actually, you know, believe it or not, this is gonna be funny. I didn't even know she can draw until one day she just bam, you know.
She's like, "Is this what you were trying to get to?" And you're like, "Whoa."
I think she did a project, and I'm not even kidding. She did this project for school. And I remember it was a monkey, and she even colored it. And then one day I saw it, and I thought it was like off the internet, but it was hers, and it looked so good. It was so nice, and she actually gave it to me, and I actually even put it away. I kept it. I really liked it. I think I even scanned it and I saved it on my computer. That's how much I liked it. But that's when I knew she can, you know, not draw big, but can do something really nice and catchy, you know.
Cool, man. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I'll give you the big screen for a little bit here. I don't think anybody else has any questions. If you do, go ahead and ask them. But I definitely want to give you a chance to tell people where they can find you. I'm going to drop the link in there for Jolzar Collectibles on Facebook, where everybody can find you on there while you're telling them where they can find you. And give them one last shout out for Power Tunes.
I appreciate everybody. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody tuning in to see this show, and I appreciate Sean, Rodney, Dave, Marat. You know, I appreciate having everybody on board for this project. It means a lot to me. So let's see what happens with the Kickstarter launching next month, in a couple weeks even. You know, I'm hoping I can give you guys a date within a week or so. And yeah, I appreciate it. You guys all stay safe. Take care. It is a dangerous time right now, so make sure you have your masks and you know, stay safe, social distancing, all that stuff.
So cool, man. It was great having you tonight. I'm going to kick you to the back room. Everybody, check out Jose's project when it drops next month. We will definitely, I'll definitely post everything, any updates on it, and let you guys know when that's going to be dropping. So thanks again for being on tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you for reaching out to me.
Yeah, no problem at all. So like I said, if you want to hang out in the green room for a second, I'll be back once the show's over.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
You too, buddy. All right, folks. Had a fun show tonight talking about Power Ninja Tunes. So definitely check it out. Look forward to seeing Arson hopefully in the near future once things get the green light to go again on that. It definitely sounds interesting. Definitely love hearing his inspirations of why he got into comics and how he got into his collectibles business. It's really cool how things kind of came together. And there's nothing like doing the things that you love. So, everybody, have a great week. Have a great night. As always, Russ Explode Studios, projects that'll blow your mind. Everybody, have a great night and enjoy the new outro video I made.